Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you today to our webinar on how Cypago helps CISOs optimize user access review with our CEO and co-founder, Eric Solomon. The webinar will be starting shortly.
Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Can you guys hear me well? Yeah,
Can hear you, Arik.
great, excellent. I'm about to share my screen in a second. Right. Just need to share my screen. If that can be done, I'll be more than happy. Mhm. In a minute. Fuad, just please provide me the option to share my screen and we'll be starting the
Arik, in the
webinar.
meantime, please tell us a little bit about Cypago, and I will assist on the technical side.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's an excellent idea. So welcome everyone, and sorry for the slight technicalities. I'm Arik Solomon. I'm the CEO and co-founder for Cypago, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through what we have prepared and developed here in Cypago. But very briefly, and I hope that now you can see my screen. So we are here in this webinar. We'll cover the way that we in Cypago can help CISOs to optimize that user access review process, and we'll shortly cover what is this process, what are the pain points, I would say, that CISOs are today handling or managing these processes with, and how Cypago can help them to streamline and to make this process much more optimized and easy. Joseph has already presented me, and thank you very much for that. So we'll skip that. I just want to mention that based on that security, technology, and compliance expertise that I've gained throughout the years, that's really helped me in the way that we have built and designed the offering that Cypago has today for its customers. And before we delve into the topic of today, I would like to extend my invitation for all of us here today to join our free trial. So any one of you who wishes to join, please feel free and leave a comment, and we'll be more than happy to share with you a link to our self-serve product that will come up very, very soon. So when we are talking about user access reviews, so very quickly, what are these actually? So these are the processes of making sure or ensuring that all the users or the employees in the company and their equivalent users in the different tools has the right access permissions across tools and across platforms. And that's essentially that's a super essential step in practically every security audit that organizations go through. And in general, it's a very good security practice to make sure and validate that users have the right access to the relevant tools. The only issue is that today it is a time-consuming process, which involves multiple stakeholders that need to provide the data, need to run the reviews, need to provide the feedback in order to make all that process happen. And these are actually the key challenges that many CISOs today experience and their GRC leads when running these user access review processes. The first one might be an obvious one, but this is the ability to obtain the user lists from all the different platforms and tools. And organizations today are using dozens and even hundreds of different tools. The ability to identify the employee account ownership, what employee has, what users every employee has, because as we know, that's a one-to-many relationship there. Also, to be able to identify what is called orphan accounts or dormant accounts, the result of employees terminated and left the company, but their users are still active for some reason. That's a possible security breach, and one of the again good security practices that every security organization needs to adopt. Additionally, the ability to easily view the roles and privileges that each user has in the right context and matching the right or the relevant employee. So being able to get that, to generate the list of employees, it's attached users, and for each user, the roles and privileges. So all in all, that's a highly cumbersome and manual process. And I think the last thing, which is very important, is the ability to run this kind of process in a easy, swift way, and as it's possible with a very easy to use UI. So when we look at how this process is being done today, in most cases, we are talking about manual processes based on Excel sheets and other forms of data collection and sharing, which are not designed for and not intended to run these user access review processes. And most importantly, these do not come in the right context, because when we are looking at running or managing a security compliance program, we always need to make sure that these review processes are being attached to the right audit processes, and later on being provided to an auditor, either internal or external, to be served as an evidence that the organization has done whatever it needs to do around these requirements, but also to make sure that the organization keeps a high standard of cyber hygiene, and making sure that you have the right users matching to the right employees with the right privileges is one of the most important pieces of every security program. So without further ado, I would like to switch over to the platform and run you through an example process of how this can be achieved in an automated and easy fashion. So let me very quickly switch here just a second. Yeah, I'm gonna change the screen here in a minute. Excellent. Now, what we see now is the main workspace screen of the Cypago's platform. What can be easily observed is the ability of the platform to streamline and automate a long list of security standards and frameworks out of the box. Now, each one of these standards, or many of these for sure, require us as an organization to run these user access review processes. So just very briefly, to give you a sneak preview into an actual audit. So when I click one of these, let's say SOC 2, for example, I get to see the list of controls that I need to comply with the specific requirements that are relevant per each control. And the platform automatically collects the data, analyzes it, and presents me with the bottom line, with the verdict. How many requirements are, or controls in this case, are compliant, and how many are in a gap. So when I click it, I can very easily see, and that's just to give you a sense of how the Cypago platform is what the value that it provides. When you choose one of these controls, and it says that this control is a gap, because one of the requirements is missing. So in this case, I need to show that I have a proper backup list. So if I click it, I can see that I have many backups, but these are not configured in the right way, okay? Because the actual backup doesn't run. So in this case, the data comes from different data sources, but I don't have the backup existing. So that's just a very quick example to give you a sense of how the Cypago platform is running, and what is the benefit that it provides for every GRC lead or the CISO itself, while maintaining compliance across security standards. But the context of this meeting today is to go deeper into the user access review module. So we can see that we have a list of modules in the platform that will be covered in separate sessions. But when I choose the user access review model here, what I can see is the main management UIR management screen that allows me to initiate new reviews or to manage existing ones. I can also see past reviews that has already been concluded. For this example, let's see the monthly UAR for this month, for August. And let's take that process from the top. So the first phase would be to name that process and to declare what we are trying to achieve. That's an obvious one. The second and most interesting part is the option to define the source and the application to review. And let's explain that for a second. Choosing a source means that we are now defining what data source holds our source of truth, meaning the list of employees in the company. These will be used to match all the users defined in the various tools that we are going to review. So we can choose either an HR system or an SSO provider, whatever we prefer. In this case, we have chosen Okta. And now what we can do is to choose all the systems that we would like to review. Now, the list of systems that we can see here come from the integrations tab. Integrations means all the connectors that we can define in order to connect existing tools and platforms to the Cypago platform. That process is a very easy and swift one. Usually it takes a click or two to connect a list of tools. Each one only requires the ability to create the relevant role, and we'll be able to see that in a second. So once we have all the required tools connected to the platform, we will see them here. And of course, if tomorrow we'll connect an additional one, it will show up here as well. So I can choose one or more or as many as I would like to review. And what will happen now, by the way, there's also an option to upload a list of employees from an external source. In many cases, organizations manage their employees in one of those tools, but they manage their contractors in a separate Excel sheet. And that's a quite common use case. So there's also the ability to upload one of these lists from an external source. So once I've selected the source of truth, where the source that holds my employee list, and I've also selected the tools that I would like now to review the user's permissions for, clicking next will take me to the responsibility definition screen. And in this step, what I can do is to define who will have an overall responsibility for this, in this case, August user access review process. And that can come from all all the users defined in the system. In many cases, this would be the GRC lead, the GRC expert, or the one that is responsible for running these kind of processes. Now, the second part in the second stage in this screen allows me to define the application owners. Now, in many cases, specifically with larger organizations, you might have a long list of applications that each has its own owner, and not necessarily the CISO or his team has the specific knowledge and the know-how to define whether a specific user has the right permissions for a given application. So this is why we need to, or there's an option to define an application owner per each one of these tools. So again, this can come from all the users defined in the system. Now, what happens is that the platform takes the list of users and the list of matching employees with all the relevant data, crunches the data, and presents me with the actionable data that now I can now go on and approve or disapprove the permissions. Let's see how that can be achieved. I can see here the aggregated list of all the tools, but by clicking one of these application tabs, I can see only the users that comes from this specific tool. Now, I see the email associated with that user, the name, the login details, and that where it comes start to be super interesting, the groups that user is associated with, and the roles and permissions that specific user has. In addition, the platform tells me whether this user is active or not. And if that user wasn't active, it will say that this user is inactive. If that user was disabled, it will say disabled. And it will also show me the last login if that occurred and the default configuration is over a month ago. So that's on the user side. Now, the employee side shows me the employee that the platform matched automatically to that given user. And that's very important because now I can see the employee's role within the company. And that obviously comes from the source of truth that we have selected. In our case, it was Okta. So the approver now has all the data that it needs in order to approve or disapprove the permissions, because I have all the details that I need about the user. I know to which groups this user belongs, what specific roles and permission it has, whether it is an active or inactive user, and I now know who is the employee that uses this user in this specific case, and what is the employee role. Now I have everything that I need as an application owner to approve or disapprove. So I wasn't assigned as an application owner for these two ones, so let's go for a GitHub in this case. So because now what has been achieved in this case is that the users are approved. Now I can go ahead and define if that user is disapproved, and if it was disapproved, I can add a comment and say, listen, this specific user is wasn't approved. We can see it in a different review, just to show you specifically how this can be achieved, because the last one was already approved. Well, once I have a user matched, I can go and choose approved or action required. And if there's an action required, I can say, I don't know, remove, sorry for that, remove specific permissions. This comment will propagate to the person who has overall responsibility for the process. So Once I will record this specific comment, and this user will be approved or disapproved again accordingly, I can now go ahead and approve all of them in a bulk. So now let's say I've approved all of them. And once the application owner reviews all the data, as we have seen, all the data is relevant and presented to the reviewer in a very easy way. No need to go around and fetch for the data from dozens of different tools, to ask the DevOps, the SecOps, the different application owners to get all this data, to normalize it, to put everything in one Excel. All these kind of manual processes that many organizations today are running, all that is achieved, as we have seen, automatically by the platform. And now once I have approved, or again disapproved, it really depends on me, I can go and sign off this specific review. And once that specific review has been signed off, the one that has an overall responsibility is able to sign off the entire process. And in this case, as we can see, we are awaiting approval for 3 systems because we still haven't completed the process. And let's see it for now, just as an example. So that one was approved. And this can be very easily achieved. Let's quickly go back to our this month review. As we can see here, this specific application was already reviewed and approved and signed off. And this is why out of these 3 systems, I have 2 to approve. Now, I cannot approve these ones because I wasn't assigned for that. But that, by the way, can be very easily changed at any given point in time. If we decide that we've assigned it to the wrong person, we can change that. And now I should have the permissions to, again, go ahead and approve these ones. And once these have been approved, I'm signing off this one. I'm providing my name and my role in this case, and I approve it. And once that already has been approved, I now see that I have only one application to be reviewed. So what we have seen, what we have covered this far, is the option to very easily, once we have all the right tools connected to the platform, to go and define as many user access review processes as we would like, very easily, very quickly. This can be on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, or even on a weekly basis, because based on the platform or leveraging the power of the platform, this is a very easy and swift process. So we can define the data sources, define the different responsibilities, and very easily review all the data that the platform has automatically collected for us, analyzed for us, and presented in a very, very easy way. So all we need to do is to approve, disapprove, and the process will continue until it's been completed. Now, these are the main functionalities that we wanted to cover in this session today. We will be more than happy to take any questions that you might have. So that's a good time to do that. We'll give it a minute or two and see if we have questions from the crowd. Okay, I see that we have, let me just go ahead and just, yeah, I would like to show you that. Just a second. Yeah, I'm just leaving that just to see if we have any questions. So I think that we have. Let me quickly see what we have now. Yeah, if we work with a tool, that's the question that is not listed. Can it be added? The answer is yes, very easily and very quickly it can be added to the list of tools that you can review. Yeah, an interesting question. Can I purchase the user access review module as a standalone tool? The question is yes. It comes with the platform, but most of the functionality will be removed or disabled. But the user will be able to later on upgrade its subscription and leverage all the other functionalities in addition. Let's see if we have another question here. How does it compare to other UAR tools? Okay, that's a good one, and thank you for that. First, as you could have witnessed, it comes, our Cypago's UAR model comes with much more automation, and a lot more insights will be added very soon to the platform. So you will be able to enjoy not only the analysis that you have already seen, but additional capabilities such as highlighting teammates and their responsibilities and permissions, etc. There's the option, another advantage. There's an option to go ahead and complete the suite with not only UAR but also with all the compliance automation capabilities. And as we mentioned at the beginning, UAR directly translates into existing controls that many standards require you, such as SOC 2 and many others. And of course, we are always keen to provide the best pricing schemes for our customers. So that's, I think that's another important advantage that we at Cypago have with our UAR model. Okay, I would like to thank everyone.
Thank you, Arik. Our time is up, and would like to thank you everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. And thank you. See you in our next webinar.